Okay, my name is Jerry Rollins Muteti. I'm doing Kiswahili history, and I will take you through this work of survey of the world. So, a survey of the world in history involves the exploration and analysis of the evolution of human societies, cultures, economies, and political structures over time. This vast undertaking requires a multidisciplinary approach, incorporating the insights of historians, archaeologists, and anthropologists, economists, and other scholars to construct a comprehensive narrative of the past. Such surveys typically span significant epochs and regions, providing a holistic view of the world's historical development. So the first thing we will look at is civilization in Egypt. Ancient Egypt is one of the world's oldest civilizations, and it flourished along the banks of the Nile River. For thousands of years, the civilization of ancient Egypt left a lasting legacy in various fields, including art, architecture, religion, and government. Here are the key aspects of civilization in ancient Egypt. The first one is geography and Nile River. The civilization of ancient Egypt developed along the fertile Nile River, which provided a consistent source of water for agriculture. The Nile's annual flooding deposited nutrient-rich silt, ensuring bountiful harvests. Second one is pharaohs and centralized government. Egypt was ruled by pharaohs, believed to be divine kings who held both political and religious authority. The pharaohs established a centralized government with a complex bureaucracy to administer the vast kingdom. So the next thing we are looking at is the Old Kingdom in Egypt. The Old Kingdom of Egypt, also known as the Pyramid Age, spanned from around 2686 BCE to 2181 BCE. Although dates can vary slightly, we should be sure of that. So this period is characterized by construction of massive pyramids, the establishment of a centralized government, and the development of complex religious and funerary practices. Here are some key notes about the Old Kingdom of Egypt. Capital and administration. The Old Kingdom was centered around the capital city of Memphis, located near the present-day Cairo. The government was slightly centralized, with the king pharaoh at the top of political hierarchy. The pharaoh was considered divine and held absolute power. Pharaohs and dynasties. Notable pharaohs of the Old Kingdom include Josa, Neferu, Khufu, Hafre, and Menkaure. The Old Kingdom is typically divided into third, fourth, sixth, and eighth dynasties. Each dynasty represents a line of rulers from a single family. The Middle Kingdom. The Middle Kingdom of Egypt, also known as the period of reunification, lasted from around 2055 BCE to 1650 BCE approximately. This era followed the first intermediate period and preceded the second intermediate period. Here are some keynotes about the Middle Kingdom. The first one is reunification and stability. The Middle Kingdom began with the reunification of Upper and Lower Egypt after a period of political fragmentation during the first intermediate period. Pharaoh Mentuhotep II is often credited with the reuniting Egypt and establishing the 11th dynasty. Capital and administration. The capital during the early Middle Kingdom was initially at Thebes, southern Egypt, but it later shifted to Itajo during the 12th dynasty. The government was characterized by a more efficient bureaucracy, and pharaohs sought to establish a more stable and prosperous state. The New Kingdom of Egypt. The New Kingdom of Egypt, spanning around 1550 BCE to 1070 BCE, is considered one of the most prosperous and powerful periods in ancient Egypt history. It followed the second intermediate period and was marked by significant military conquests, territorial expansion, and cultural achievements. Here are the keynotes about the New Kingdom. The first one is capital and administration. The capital during the New Kingdom was initially at Thebes in southern Egypt, but later pharaohs established other administrative centers such as Akhetaten, modern Amara during the reign of Akhenaten. The government maintained a centralized bureaucracy and pharaohs exercised absolute authority. Pharaohs and dynasty. Notable pharaohs of the New Kingdom include Amos II, Hatshepsut, Thutmose III, Akhenaten, Tutankhamun, Ramses II, and many others. The New Kingdom is typically divided into 8th, 9th, and 12th dynasties. Okay, the Indus Valley Civilization. Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan Civilization, was one of the world's earliest urban cultures and flourished in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent from around 33,000 BCE to 13,000 BCE, 1300 BCE. Here are the keynotes about the Indus Valley Civilization. The first one is geographic extent. The civilization was located in the basin of Indus River and its tributaries, covering parts of present-day Pakistan and northwest India. Urban centers. Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were two of the major urban centers of the Indus Valley Civilization. The cities were well planned, featuring advanced urban infrastructure, including grid-like street patterns, sewage systems, and public baths. Writing system. The Indus Valley Civilization had a script that remains undeciphered, as scholars have not been able to translate it. The script is found on seals, pottery, and other artifacts. Chinese civilization. So the Chinese civilization is one of the world's oldest continuous cultures with a rich history, spanning thousands of years. Here are the keynotes about Chinese civilization. The first one is ancient China. Ancient Chinese civilization dates back to the Neolithic period, with evidence of early agricultural practices along the Yellow River around 7000 BCE. The Xia dynasty, which lasted from 2070 to 1600 BCE. It is traditionally considered the first dynasty, although historical records from this period are limited. The Shang and Zhou dynasty. The Shang dynasty, which lasted from 1600 to 1046 BCE, is known for its advances in bronze metallurgy, a system of writing on oracle bones, and early forms of Chinese religion. The Zhou dynasty, from 1046 to 56 BCE, saw the development of the concept of mandate of heaven, which legitimized the ruler's authority. Greek and Roman civilization. The Greek and Roman civilization are two of the most influential cultures in Western history. Here are keynotes about each civilization. Greek civilization, city-states. Ancient Greece was not a unified state, but comprised independent city-states such as Athens, Sparta, Corinth, and Thebes. Each city-state had its own form of government, ranging from democracies, e.g. Athens, to oligarchies, e.g. Sparta, to philosophy. Ancient Greece is renowned for its contributions to philosophy. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle are three of the most famous Greek philosophers. They explored ethics, metaphysics, politics, and more. Drama and literature. Greek literature includes epic poems like the Iliad and the Odyssey attributed to Homer. Greek drama, with playwrights such as Silas, Sophocles, and Euripides, produced tragedies and comedies. Athens civilization. Athens, the capital of Greece, was a prominent city-state in ancient Greece and a key center of Greek civilization. Here are keynotes about Athens. First one is democracy. Athens is often regarded as the birthplace of democracy. In the 5th century BCE, a statesman, Crescens, implemented political reforms that allowed many citizens to participate in decision-making through an assembly. Golden Age of Athens. The 5th century BCE is often referred to as the Golden Age of Athens. During this time, Athens experienced significant cultural, political, and intellectual achievements. Pericles. Pericles, a prominent statesman, led Athens during much of its golden age. He implemented policies that strengthened democracy and oversaw ambitious building projects, including the construction of Parthenon and Acropolis. So the last thing we are going to look at is the theories used to study modern government in Africa. Modern government in Africa is studied using various theoretical frameworks that help scholars and analysts understand political dynamics, governance structures, and policy making in the region. Here are some key theories used to study modern government in Africa. First one is dependency theory. Overview. Dependency theory examines the economic relationships between developed and developing countries, emphasizing the historical legacies of colonialism and the unequal global economic system. Application in Africa. Scholars apply dependency theory to analyze how Africa's economic dependency on external actors, such as former colonial powers and international institutions, shapes its political and economic landscape. Modernization theory. Overview. Modernization theory persists as societies go through stages of development, progressing from traditional to modern forms. It emphasizes economic growth, technological advancement, and cultural changes. Application in Africa. Modernization theory has been used to assess Africa's development progress, looking at factors such as industrialization, urbanization, and political institutions. That's all.